And now on to the war in Gaza. The United Nations Security Council has done the impossible. It has backed a ceasefire deal. It has approved a resolution to end the war permanently. This is a first for the body in 8 months. 14 members voted for it. Russia abstained. So will this now end the war? It depends on Israel and Hamas, the parties fighting this war. Hamas has welcomed it. It has agreed to the ceasefire resolution. Meanwhile, Israel says it is committed to victory. So is this just another proposal that will change nothing in Gaza, or will this 8-month-long conflict finally come to an end? Our next report tells you.
The results of the voting is as follows. 14 votes in favor, 0 votes against, 1 abstention. The draft resolution has been adopted as Resolution 2735.
Finally, the UN Security Council has agreed on something. It has backed a ceasefire plan for Gaza.
Please raise their hand.
14 members backed the resolution. 1 member abstained. It was Russia. But the vote shows that there is a consensus. This is the first time the Security Council has endorsed a proposal to end the war.
To free all the hostages.
As President Biden made...
The ceasefire plan was proposed by the United States. It sets out conditions for a complete ceasefire, including release of hostages by Hamas, return of remains of dead hostages, and the exchange of Palestinian prisoners. It will happen in 3 phases. In the first phase, there will be a short-term ceasefire. Hostages and prisoners will be exchanged. In the second, Israeli forces will withdraw permanently from Gaza. And in the third phase, reconstruction of the Gaza Strip will begin.
It's time for this war to end.
So the plan sounds quite comprehensive. And now the United Nations has backed it too. But will it stop the conflict? That depends on the 2 stakeholders, Israel and Hamas. After the UN vote, Hamas welcomed the resolution. It has also accepted the proposal. Which brings us to Israel. The resolution states that it has accepted the proposal, but Israel hasn't said anything. Netanyahu has not endorsed it. It's an issue Russia raised during the vote.
Hamas is called upon to accept this so-called deal, but still, there is no clarity regarding an official agreement from Israel as is written in the resolution for the deal proposed by President Biden. Given the many statements from Israel on the extension of the war until Hamas is completely defeated. So what specifically has Israel agreed to?
Antony Blinken may have the answer to that. The US Secretary of State is in Israel, his 8th trip to the region since the war began. He visited Cairo and Jerusalem, met with regional leaders, held talks with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, all to get the ceasefire deal in place. But Blinken's trip could not have come at a worse time. The top US diplomat has flown right into a political storm in Israel. On Sunday, War Cabinet Minister Benny Gantz resigned, leaving Netanyahu's emergency government without a moderate voice. Netanyahu's far-right allies want this war to go on. They are not in favor of any ceasefire. If Netanyahu doesn't listen to them, they may withdraw support, which would mean his government would fall. So, while the UN may have backed a ceasefire proposal, there's a lot of ambiguity right now. Doubts over the language of the deal, no formal commitment yet from Israel, and the risk of Netanyahu's government collapsing. For now, the ceasefire deal is just the first step. But whether it will end the war in Gaza, we'll find out in the coming days.
Firstpost reports from the world's 2nd largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections, to climate change, to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global South. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.